The Indiana Hoosiers just got great news on multiple fronts. And ladies and gentlemen, they are third in the country. Third. We live in a world where the Indiana Hoosiers are balling out on the football field, and I love it. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron with my buddy Paul. We are the Big Ten guys on the daily, talking Big Ten football news, rumors, analysis, whatever the heck it is, Big Ten football, including, Indiana Hoosiers at the number 3 spot in the country after taking down the Oregon Ducks in Eugene. Yeah, I'm fired up. It's pretty awesome. But if you like stuff like that, listen, all you got to do, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and hit the like button, because we've talked quite a bit about Hoosiers. And again, it's not basketball. We are talking football. So ladies and gentlemen, multiple fronts, good news. And I will tell you this, you can notice by the football, the mug, I need to put other memorabilia up there, but I'm a Michigan State fan. I come at this from a very non-biased approach. We know who's coming up this weekend for the Hoosiers in Bloomington. Try to go to the game, was looking at going to the game. If you got tickets, let me know. I'll come. But like the cheapest ticket I saw last was like $175, which that's probably cheap compared now. But it's almost like that Detroit Lions effect. Bear with me when I say this, and then we'll jump into the episode. But the Detroit Lions, when they were not good, you could easily go get tickets for $20, $30. Pretty easy, pretty standard. And then they started doing well, doing very well. And now you cannot find a ticket for less than $200. $200 is actually pretty cheap. I would say it's more like $250 is the price. So now Indiana, same thing. They're catching fire. Haven't been great at football in a while, and people are loving it. And they got that Hoosier fever. Is that the right term? I don't know, but we're going to go with it. So anyways, the Indiana Hoosiers, fun to watch, multiple fronts, great news. First, we need to jump into this. Odds of making the college football playoffs as it stands right now. Ohio State at number 1, 95%. Their next game that's going to be the toughest is most likely Michigan, just because it's a rivalry game. But besides that, we've already seen that Penn State is bad. They're not good. They have fallen from grace is the best way to say it. If you watch this show, we kicked out UCLA. I feel like we got to bring UCLA back, kick out Penn State out of the Big Ten. But it's been rough to watch. And then number 2, ladies and gentlemen, and at 93% is your Indiana Hoosiers. A lot of people, and I will admit, going into this season, I did not have them making the playoff. Going into this season, I thought Illinois was going to do better. Going into this season, I thought Michigan, I thought other programs in the Big Ten would do better than Indiana, and Indiana was going to take a step back. And I'm looking for forgiveness. So comment below if you forgive me. But they're the real deal. I never thought I would be on my couch cheering so hard for Indiana against Oregon. Again, a game I would tell you could have very realistically been 35-13 in obviously Indiana's favor. Indiana 30-20 doesn't truly show how dominant Indiana was in that game. But that is huge news for the Hoosiers moving forward. We look at their schedule. Their schedule is not much. It's not much. That sure, it's college football. Anything can happen. That's why you play the game. But when we look at it, it should be in a walk in the park for this team, this offense and defense. Defense just as good as the offense. It's been playing lights out. Especially you hold Oregon to 13 points technically, because 7 was a pick 6. So you gotta love that as Hoosier fans. So that's the first bit of good news for the Hoosiers. The second, I don't have it pulled up, but your boy Curt Signetti signing a huge extension, literally just showering money on that guy. And I don't blame them in Bloomington. You got your guy, keep him as long as you can. Listen, at Michigan State, they're talking about trying to fire John Smith already, and you're just like, come on, like. The buyout's $53 million. Come on. Like, are we going to keep doing this? And then people are just like, well, what about James Franklin? What about John Gruden? What about? And it gets old. It gets old. So I'm happy for Indiana. I really am. So that playoff picture and path is clear as day. Looking good for the Hoosiers. Your head ball coach, I like call him Sig Nasty because it sounds awesome. Successful, I've heard, which is very funny as well. Drop one if you got one for me that you want to add. So two big pieces of news right there. Hoosiers playoff picture, Curt Signetti, just he's a Bloomington guy. He's a Hoosier guy. You know it. And then we jump into the third piece, and we got more after this. But the third piece, Fernando Mendoza, still up atop the Heisman race, and I think it's only going to look better for him. Specifically, I'll tell you this, as a Michigan State fan, him playing Michigan State, his stats should skyrocket. But obviously, his stock is up from the other week. You see some other people obviously falling. I'm honestly not, and I'm not just saying this because I am a Big Ten homer, but Ty Simpson at Alabama, yeah, he's okay. Carson Beck at Miami, But I would tell you the most impressive win in college football right now is at Oregon, and that was Indiana. If they could have scored instead of getting that field goal at the end of the game, I think that would have, I think people would have been like, dang, and put Indiana even more over the edge. But I think Fernando Mendoza is going to continue to climb, and I think he will be odds-on favorite, even potentially after this Michigan State game. So that's the third piece of great news. The last piece of great news, and we're going to spend a little time on this, is the Michigan State Spartans. You get to play them this weekend, 3:30 in Bloomington. Well, look, actually, tickets right now, only $67. That must be a fluke. But anyways, we look at this game, and in every metric, the Hoosiers should dominate. The Hoosiers should dominate, regardless who's starting at quarterback for the Spartans, if it's Aiden Childs or not. Whatever that looks like, this team has not played great. The last three games have not been good. They lost to a UCLA team that has a little resurgence. That's why here on the Big Ten guys, we brought them back into the conference and kicked Penn State out for the meantime. But we look at the Spartans in defensively. Let me throw this at you. They are one of the worst in the country. They're ranked 71st in total defense, giving up 390 or 69.2 yards, as well as we look at yards in the air, passing yards allowed, 238, and they're ranked 93rd. You notice them there tucked in between UAB and Bowling Green. It's not great. It's not great for the Spartans. So I leave you with this cherry on top, Hoosiers fans. As a Michigan State fan, the Hoosiers should be able to just roll. And I say that as a loving Michigan State fan, hardcore Michigan State fan. I will tell you, as I said at the beginning, not going to be biased, but Michigan State is not good. In the Indiana Hoosiers, in Fernando Mendoza, in Surratt, in Cooper, and all these guys, those stats should just skyrocket. They will look at this game, and especially it's a rivalry game. So the brass spittoon, Indiana will be keeping it. They will be keeping it. So what do you think? Comment below. Anything I talked about. Game predictions. What do you think the final score is going to be? I'm going to tell you this. I think the final score is going to be 45-14. And I think that's pretty gracious on Michigan State's side. I'll say that. I have multiple people who have told me they think Smith will get fired after this game. I just don't see Michigan State partying with someone, one, the buyout's so big, and two, just barely over a year and a half. So comment below. Tell me what you think. Any of the good news that really pops out to you. I would love to hear it. Love talking to you guys. Comment below, Hoosiers Nation. Tell me your thoughts. Hit that sub button on the way out. We'll talk later. Peace.